Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to our Tuesday version of the Going On Daily broadcast live. And I'm here today with my wonderful co-host, Luannah. How are you, Luannah?
Doing awesome, drinking my chai tea at sunrise. It's pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
the background, your view is just beautiful. We were discussing this prior to you even coming on. Ron and I were
Oh,
discussing it and just how amazing it is. It's just
yeah.
so beautiful and so
Magical
zen,
place.
so relaxing.
Yes,
Just
yes, it's
amazing.
a magical place. Yeah, thank you for appreciating it. Yeah.
So, welcome to season 2, episode 227 of the Going On Daily broadcast. The episode is "I Want Candy," and while you're watching us or listening to us, there's various platforms you can find us on. You can watch us live on Kick, YouTube, Rumble at Rhode Island Broadcasting. You can also watch us on Twitch at RI_broadcasting or on X or Twitter, depending on what you call it, at broadcasting RI. So those are the places you can watch us live. You can also listen to us at Spotify, Red Circle, iHeartRadio, at RI Broadcasting, and a whole host of others. We're on every platform you can. MeWe, Space Hey, TikTok, LinkedIn, Parler, Gab at RI Broadcasting, and Twitter at RI Broadcasting RI. So choose your platform. And you can also follow us on Facebook. Okay, so Facebook, we got sucker punched and we got kicked off of Facebook. You shut down our one page. So we're growing our followers back up. So 1,000, and we can start casting live on Facebook. So if you could follow us on Facebook, that would really be good. And Facebook is at Going On Daily Morning Show. So you can support the show at RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net. You can buy some merch. You can donate money. You can donate some pennies, whatever you prefer. And we would love to have it. And we'd love to hear from you on any one of the platforms that you follow us on. Now, just to make things really fun, we also have a monthly Hall of Fame where you get to vote. And so last month's Hall of Fame, you got to vote for your favorite TV show. So the choices were Golden Girls, Cheers, MASH, Happy Days, and Married with Children. So the winner was
Golden Girl.
Golden Girls. Yay! Cheers.
That Betty White was amazing.
Oh my gosh, Betty White.
Just incredible. They all were, but Betty White, she was the kicker.
Absolutely. She was the one who really carried that show for sure. And she's just beloved in everything she did. She's so amazing. Yeah, so Golden Girls got 38%, whereas Cheers and MASH tied at 25%. Oh. Happy Days 12%, and unfortunately, we don't have any fans who like Married with Children, but that's okay. Golden Girls won, and we're very happy with that. So now you can go on RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net and vote for your Hall of Fame for this month, for the month of November. So we want to know, who is your favorite actor? Is it Philip Seymour Hoffman, Sean Penn, Robin Williams, Gene Hackman, or, a lot of people's favorite, Tom Hanks? But, those are some great names and some really stiff competition. I can't even, normally you look at the Hall of Fame question and you think, oh, I think this one's going to win or that one. I don't know. What do you think, Luannah?
I don't know. I'm a real fan of Sean Connery. So,
he's not on the list. Sorry. You got to choose between Philip Seymour Hoffman, Sean Penn.
Oh, no. Sean Penn. Oh, jeez. I saw Sean Connery. Yeah, no.
That's how much of a fan you are. You put him on the list. He's not even there.
Not even there. Oh, man, but he's a classic. He should be on there. I watched his movie In the Name of the Rose when I was 15 or 16. It was all about religion, uncovering the debacles of religion. It's a phenomenal movie where he's living in a monastery and there's the hidden texts and he discovers them. Yeah, it's really Name of the Rose. In the Name of the Rose is a great movie. That's why you said Sean Penn. I just automatically went to Sean Connery.
Sorry to disappoint. Philip Seymour Hoffman, Sean Penn, Robin Williams, Gene
Robin
Hackman or
Williams.
Tom
I would
Hanks?
do Robin Williams would be my pick from those.
Oh, me too. I
Mhm.
love Robin Williams.
Yeah, he'll be my pick.
Yeah, mine too. So it'll be interesting to see. Please, we want all our viewers to go on, and our viewers, our listeners, go on and vote for the Hall of Fame at RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net. We would love to have your input. And as you know, may or may not know, we have been doing theme weeks lately. So this week's theme is food. And for today's show, the theme is candy, which I'm excited about.
Yeah.
So if you have any ideas that you'd like us to do for theme weeks, please let us know. We'd love to hear them. Doesn't mean we're going to do them. I'm just kidding. No, we'd love to hear them and see what you'd like us to talk about.
Yeah.
So for our first segment today, Luannah, the origin of candy as a medicine.
Yeah. So I did some research last night, and the whole
Mhm.
topic's not going to be just about that, but that I wanted to start with that because that's how sugar started. It
Oh,
started as a medicine. So the origin, they say, is 8,000 BCE in New Guinea.
okay. So can you explain to me? I understand what BC is, but where's the E?
Before
What's
Christ. Or no,
BC?
BC. Sorry, I
Before
did
Christ.
that. BC. Yeah. Yeah, BCE.
Okay.
That's what it says, 2000 BCE.
Yeah,
So
I'm
I'm
not
not
sure
sure
what the E is.
actually, yeah, I'm not sure. I thought it was just normal, but I
Okay.
know BC, but yeah.
If anybody knows, please let us know what the E
Years.
stands for in BCE. That's
Yeah.
the second time this week that that's
Oh,
come up, actually.
oh,
Mhm.
really? Oh, interesting. Yeah. So 8,000 BCE in New Guinea. Incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the most modern is 2000 BCE in Egypt. And they used it as a medicine. So first licorice and ginger were the first candies, ginger root, where they would just
Okay, well,
chew. And
that
they would
makes sense.
and then they would coat them with honey. And then they started making nuts
Mhm.
coated with honey.
Okay.
And then herbs for medicine they started mixing with honey. So that's the origin of candy right back there.
Right.
And I
Wow.
think it's really
But
cool.
it was medicinal candy, like
Yes,
ginger with some honey, that is medicinal,
it's some
so
herbs.
that
Yeah,
makes a
yeah.
lot of sense.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
that the first candy was actually good for us. Not like what we have nowadays.
Oh, you wait.
Right? Yeah, so actually candy was healthy back then and it was good. Which I don't know, as a side topic, it's really funny. Another food that we eat every day that people don't realize is that ketchup was also a medicine originally when it was released in Germany. It was only sold in pharmacies because it had basil and all
Oh,
kinds of different herbs, so it was a medicine for digestion in the original day. I thought I'd
okay,
add that extra
interesting.
little fact. Yeah,
And
very
probably
cool.
a heck of a lot less sugar because ketchup is riddled with sugar.
Yeah, way less sugar.
So,
Yeah,
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 a lot
but it's
less sugar.
interesting how some of our common foods started out that are now sort of like junk foods, but they started out as healthy foods, which I think
Mhm.
is pretty cool, right? Let's get
Well,
back to that.
kind of disturbing a little bit, but, Ron would like to know the ginger and honey candies, are those still available?
You would be able to get those for sure in Middle Eastern stores.
Okay.
Yeah, they have there's like here in Vancouver, we have this, it's called Idubi's Nuts, and they've got all kinds of nuts plus Middle Eastern sweet treats. So that would be good. Yeah. Yeah. And
Wow.
also there's
Yeah.
also a company called Gingers and they make candied ginger. It's a modern company. So if you're just wanting to have candied ginger, that would work as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Ron says some of those gummies are herbs.
Oh yeah.
There are
Okay.
herbal gummies out there on the market.
Different
Mhm.
kind of herbal gummy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We know where you're shopping, Ron. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I just got a little bit more. I've got some more details here. So the original word, introduction of sugar, it derives from Sanskrit, the word kanda, which means a piece of sugar. So the
Oh,
origin of the word candy is kanda from Sanskrit. So it's got ancient roots as well, which I find pretty awesome, right? It was kind of interesting to discover this. And it was first produced in crystalline form in ancient India. It was later introduced to Europe by Arabs in the Middle Ages, but remained an expensive luxury for the wealthy for some time.
absolutely.
Yeah,
100%, right?
yeah, yeah. Modern candy, the mass production of candy as we know it today, began during the Industrial Revolution in the 19th century, making sweets affordable and available to all classes. Pretty cool, hey?
Yeah, that is really cool. And
The 19th century. I mean, we're talking about 8,000 BCE, 2000 BCE, and then it's not until, 19th century that it actually became, a big
mass produced.
produced
Yeah,
for everybody,
mass
right?
produced,
So
but
that
mass produced in an unhealthy manner.
but
That's the
that's the only
unfortunate part,
unfortunate.
right?
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part. Yeah.
So Ron says, yes, wealthy people suck. And of course they do on
There are
expensive
some good
candy,
ones. There
Ron.
are some good ones. So also, it was also used in Greece and the Roman Empire as a medicine as well, and they used it for digestion or sore throats.
So like our fisherman's friend, or the lozenges, that the halls and things that we have today.
Yeah, and maybe like back then, sugar wasn't as you know
Ricola,
total.
yes.
It's
Ricola. Hmm.
I love the Ricola. It wasn't as refined as it is now. So then there would have
No.
still been the minerals and the good qualities of sugar, which kind of makes sense to me, right? Then it might
Hmm.
it might actually be healthy because it was so mineral rich, because it wasn't refined like it is now, wasn't bleached, right? Where
Yes.
all the goodness is taken out of it, right? So
Yeah.
anyway, I thought that was a pretty cool. While sugar sweeteners, it also sugar preserves high sugar concentrations will inhibit bacterial growth, which is why fruits coated in honey or syrup were preserved in ancient times.
Will prohibit bacterial. I've never heard that before.
I
That is
didn't know that.
incredible.
Yeah, yeah. So, like they're saying they used to preserve their fruits in honey, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool. Yeah,
Very, very cool and very healthy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I just want to see if there's anything else that's really, really that I'm just repeating some things there. But yeah, and I thought I'd share my favorite sugar thing.
Okay.
When I was a little girl, I learned how to make caramel sauce. I make the
Yes.
best caramel sauce in the world. And that is
Mm.
my favorite. And it's the one sugar I can like eat caramel sauce and I don't
Mhm.
feel a bad effect in my body. It's really bizarre. Like there's other sugars I eat and it's like right away I can feel the rush. And the caramel, I'm
Yes.
like, I can just eat it, smear it on my toast.
It's because it's a spiritual. When you eat it, you feel it's a spiritual thing
Yeah.
for you, right? Because you love it so much.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So that's one of my favorite things. And then of course I like the caramel candies.
Yes.
And
We generations ago, one of our family members used to own a candy making store
mm,
in Manitoba,
wow.
and those recipes are only in the family. My family has those
Oh,
recipes, other people do not. So there
wow.
we have speaking of caramel, we have amazing recipe for toffee, caramel toffee.
Ooh, yum.
So
Did you see my
this,
eyes kind of roll back and expand?
mhm,
Yummy,
yeah.
yummy. Yeah, anything caramel toffee. I love it.
Oh, it's so good. My sister, every Christmas, she makes caramel toffee for every one of us. We all have the recipe, but none of us, because it's
It's it,
toffee. Is
it
a
takes work.
delicate thing to make.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Okay, so I'm
So we
excited
look forward.
for Christmas. Send me
What's
some
that?
for Christmas. Send me some for Christmas.
Exactly.
Uh,
We appreciate my sister Shirley every Christmas. Well, not that we don't appreciate her all year, but man, at Christmas when she
I'm
delivers that caramel toffee, I'm like, oh,
yeah,
now we're in heaven.
yeah,
Now Christmas is here. And
beautiful.
so Ron says he used to eat rhubarb dipped in sugar. Me too, because you could just
Oh
it
yeah, I
was
never did
cheap,
that, but that makes sense.
right? Mom
Right.
would send us out. Okay, go to the garden, grab some rhubarb. We go to the garden, clean it up, and then dip it in sugar. It was a real treat.
Yeah.
So
I,
delicious.
I think an ancient sweet treat that we can still get is Turkish delight. It has
Hmm.
its roots way back when, right? Turkish delight. They used to trade it on the Red Silk Road. I remember seeing that somewhere, right? It was like a high commodity. It was like really valuable to have
Well,
the
because
Turkish
it was
delight.
so exotic, right? A
Yeah,
Turkish delight.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
exotic.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Well,
Ron,
that's interesting.
you could get Turkish delight as a more healthier one, maybe, or maybe they're unhealthy now too. I don't know, but the usual, like in Turkey, I ate the best baklava. It's my other favorite sweet.
Oh,
Baklava. Oh my God, the best baklava I had was in Turkey. Holy cow! I still just like my whole body memory of that baklava. It's still with me today, as if I just ate it yesterday. And I'm on the search for a better, like a baklava that matches it. I haven't found it yet.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck.
But they
Yeah.
use real honey. That's why, right? Here they use sugar water mostly. So then it's hard to get that real beautiful flavor and that the yumminess anyway. The yumminess.
Oh my gosh. You know, really, two females, we could talk about candy all for day long. Like it it wouldn't take us much to just fill an hour with candy or
Yeah,
sweet things. Sweet
totally.
things for sure. But now I think what we need to do is move on to my favorite segment of the show. Oh, hang on. Hashtag rhubarb. I also love when my ex brings me milk sweet from Dominican Republic. Oh, what is milk sweet? Can you tell us about that? That would be great. Oh my gosh, you have a cold, Luannah?
Yes, I have. Well, I wake up with allergies a little bit when it's the rainy season.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're just heading into it now.
Yeah. So when it rains and then it gets dry and the sun comes out, all the mold spores come out into the air.
Oh, is that what it is? It brings.
I've always had sensitive sinuses, so yeah. So that's
Okay. So it kicks up mold spores like dust, and you start inhaling them.
Yes. So we had like a torrential rains the other day, and then yesterday was full sun, and this morning, so it's been activated a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, well, on to segment number 2. Speaking of sweet things, it is my pleasure to interview Luannah, my co-host. Luannah is an international selling best-selling author, healing mentor, speaker, and sound alchemist, devoted to helping women transform trauma into personal power, soul purpose, and sovereign leadership. That touches my heart. I just love it.
Thank you.
Luannah is the visionary founder of Soulspectives Institute for Personal Transformation and the creator of Serenity by the Sea. And just the name alone puts you in the mindset.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's a sanctuary where healing meets nature and the soul remembers who it is. That is absolutely beautiful. I'm truly honored to interview you today, Luannah, and very humbled.
To do that. Yeah.
Well, I'm very humbled by the fact that I'm able to co-host a radio show with you because you're so accomplished and such an amazing human. So thank you so much for the amazing work you've done for so many.
Thank you.
But today we're here to discuss you being a best-selling author and your most recent book. Can you tell our audience the name of your book, what it's about, and how that came about, and what your contribution is to it?
Beautiful. Yeah, the most recent. I have actually had 3 books this year.
This year alone?
Yeah, 3 books. So one of them, the one in the corner here, The Power and Possibility of You, that's one that I released myself. And that's a compilation of my articles. For a while, everybody's saying, you should put your articles, because I write articles on my Facebook page, long form. So for reflection and soul nourishment and mind expansion. And so for a long time, people were saying, you got to put it all in a book. And then my dad said too, he says, you got to put it in a book. And I went, okay, finally. So I did that. So I launched that.
Amazing.
In March. And there's going to be like volumes because I have so many articles that I've written. So that's the first volume.
So it'll be volume 1, volume 2, volume.
Yes.
Oh, amazing. So it's going to stay the possibility, the power and possibility of being you, being volume 1, volume 2, volume 3 with the same title.
Yes. And so one of the books this year was this book with endorsed by Tony Robbins, Cracking the Ritual. And that was the title of my article in there. And so, so that's why I put it in this book. You can see the cover on there. That's the first article. And the power of possibility of you is all about, learning to notice, what are we defending? Because most often we defend our limitations instead of our possibilities.
Yes, because it strikes a chord and we become defensive.
Of course, because
we contract instead of expand.
Exactly. And because we have our persona for a reason to survive, because, and we have our ego, which we needed to survive too. But there's a moment when we grow and we heal where instead of the ego being the protector, it becomes the servant of the soul.
Right. Yeah.
right? And that's the whole process. And so that's that one of the chapters in there. And then the most recent one that you were talking about is called Transforming Pain into Purpose. And that was a compilation with 34 other authors. And yeah, it reached #1 in 3 countries and in 5 categories or something like that. It really blew up. Also, the Cracking the Rich Code was #1 in 5 countries, and
That
in
is amazing.
multiple things too. And then in 2020, I did my first book. This is Resilience, Grace, and the Art of Showing Up.
Oh my goodness.
And
Oh my goodness.
that one became a bestseller in the first day in 3 categories. And #1, and then #2 and multiple other ones and everything. This one I was terrified to put out. It was my first baby, right? Yeah.
It's hard to let that first baby go and to have people, because people are going to critique, right?
Oh yeah,
There's
for
going
sure.
to be
For sure.
dissenters, but I can't even imagine you having any bad reviews at all. I
Oh,
can't even fathom
I
that.
have, I have had some. Yeah, one
Okay,
woman,
well,
she read this book, and this is my life story. This is about my
mhm.
4 years of constant hard knocks and how I got through, and the life wisdoms that I learned in that time and things like that
Transformative healing.
when I was traveling around the world. Right, so
Mhm.
in this book. I'm in Thailand, I'm in Nepal, I'm in Europe, I'm everywhere, and this one woman. And I had a lot of grace when I had troubles and problems. So much grace came to help me, like
Yes.
people, in the form of people helping or just connections. And this one woman, she read the book, and all she had to say is, well, she's talking about being helped by so many people, but where is she helping people? I'm
Oh, wow.
Okay, all right. So it's funny what people do. And that's
Yeah,
why I held off on that publishing that book for, like, it was done, and I waited like almost a year. It was on the shelf
but
until I watched
no, sorry. Go ahead.
until I watched a video with Brené Brown, and she made a comment about the haters in the world. And she said, well, if you're not in the ring of life to the level and degree I am, what you say doesn't matter. And I went, oh,
Exactly.
and I cried, and I was like, oh my God, that's why I've been holding. And so then I called my publisher. I said, okay, let's do it now. And
Yeah.
then we got it done like 2 months after watching that. But it's true, because,
And
we're go on. Yeah. What do you
it's
want?
a reflection of her, not of you.
Oh, for sure.
So what has that you just want to say, thank you for your review, but what have you accomplished in your life? When have you put yourself out there? How have you helped others? And
Yeah.
guaranteed, she is going to be nowhere near the level you have been. Guaranteed.
Yeah, it's just interesting, when you're a writer and you put your soul out there, you're going to get people that, it's like the crows that chase the eagle. But what does the eagle do? The eagle just flies higher because the crow can't fly as high as the eagle, and then the crow falls away. And so that's what this process has also taught me, because one of my key Achilles tendons was rejection from my childhood.
Mhm.
So putting myself out there like that, right? That was like, okay, let's heal that. Let's reclaim my whole self, and
It's
not.
like being an artist or a musician. When you put your creation, your, like you say, your baby out there, it
Mhm.
it bears your soul. And
Yeah,
that's what you feel like, you're bearing your soul. And so it's difficult, it's scary, it is, but oh my gosh, I am
so
so
healing.
glad, and we thank you for doing that, for
Oh,
publishing your Facebook posts, and for writing the other 2 books, and for letting us in
oh,
on the wisdom that you have to offer, because you have studied for so many years, and you have so many varied modalities that you've learned, and you've gone to the country to learn and immerse yourself in that culture, and
mhm.
truly learn what the message and the vibrational frequency is.
Yes.
And you cannot learn that through a book.
No,
And so
no.
that's why all the things that you do are so special, because you
Oh,
come
I
from
appreciate
that place of immersing yourself in that culture and that tradition and learning through that. So
and all the
absolutely
things.
fantastic.
Thank you, and all the things that I share are things that helped me, because I had really complex trauma at one point,
Mhm.
where my emotional triggers were very high. It was like an exposed electrical wire, right? And I could easily fall into despair, and sadness. I wasn't so much angry, though I could have anger at times, but mostly my default was despair and sadness and low self-worth and low self-esteem and self-doubt and all that stuff. And so my childhood traumas had prepped me for that, and that was sort of my rhythm, until I started realizing, well, wait a minute, this doesn't match me though, because I know I love life. I've always loved life. I've always had a connection to nature. I've always had an insatiable appetite for learning, right? And understanding humanity and our psyche, and why do we do what we do, and why are we so miserable, and what can we do about it, right? So that's always been sort of my inclination since I was very young. And and then when I moved to Europe when I was 18, the whole world opened for me, because I was always very deeply philosophical. And when I moved to Europe, all the natural healing was still the main thing. Meditation was normal. Spirituality was normal. Being philosophical was normal, whereas I was the oddball and I was the underdog my whole
Exactly.
life, right? So
It must have been like stepping into a completely new world for you.
Europe was my candy shop. But Europe was my soul
Yeah.
candy shop. It was my soul candy. And then traveling and living in Thailand and Nepal and Turkey and Israel. I mean, I went to where a lot of really deep cultures are. And then later in life, once I came back to Canada, then I was in Hawaii for 5 years, going back and forth, learning with my kahuna elder and his wife, and then had the privilege of being one of the first non-Hawaiians to be initiated in his and her lineage, to share.
Oh,
And it wasn't even,
congratulations. That is a huge honor.
it's huge. Yeah. And
Mhm.
so that's really become the foundation delivery system for my work. Because what I found is in Hawaii, they had all the wisdoms that I had gleaned within their principles, but in such a common sense, human, beautiful way. And so
Yes.
I can deliver complex concepts, but through the Hawaiian method. And it's just, and the principles, it's just a beautiful,
And you
beautiful
needed all of those experiences to
to
tie
put.
together when you
Yes,
got to Hawaii so that you could really fully appreciate how they brought them together, how they interwove all of those different modalities and belief systems
yes.
and brought them together in such a beautiful and unique way.
And one of the beautiful principles too is, not all wisdom comes from one school.
Right.
They
And
and they're like, if the wisdom brings you to love and aloha, good. If it brings you healing, good. If it brings you to embody your full self, good. Use it. So they don't have this proprietary thing saying, well, this is, yes, I've been on 5 continents at least. Yeah. And also South
yeah,
America, Costa Rica, so it might be even more. Yeah. And
yeah.
and that's what I loved about it, because they didn't have this proprietary, well, this is our wisdom and we have the wisdom. They're like, no, this is a part of our wisdom, and wisdom is universal. It
Mhm.
doesn't belong to us, but if it works for you, use it, and that's fine. So that's what I loved. It didn't have that kind of hard edge of separation and division.
Right. It's unity,
It's
and
unity.
it's also recognizing that this didn't come from our culture and our tradition. However, we love it, so we have embraced it and we have incorporated it in. And they are oh my gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Humble enough to admit and to recognize and to appreciate where that wisdom came from. And I think that is the biggest wisdom of all is to say we didn't have all the answers, but we brought in all of this wisdom from other places and we
Yeah.
honor it and
Well, I don't
brought
know
it
about
into our
just
traditions.
bringing it in from all over places, because the Hawaiian creation stories, they come from the stars, and
Right.
they came here to seed certain information of love and
Mhm.
teaching. So they did come with that teaching, but they embrace all teachings too. If it works, they will bring it in, and so
And that's what I'm saying. Like they're willing to embrace it and incorporate it into
oh
their
yes,
traditions and their belief systems. And
yes,
that honoring others is the greatest wisdom of all.
yes, and that's the Ho'oponopono, right?
Yes.
Ho'oponopono is the master teaching. You can read about it in books, and there's layers of the beauty of it there. But when you get into the really deeper traditional practice and you understand the underlying layers and principles behind it, it becomes, oh, it's such a way of life. It's just so beautiful, and it becomes the antenna to make a switch on a moment when you're triggered to come out of it, and to align with the unity, and to align with everything's a mirror for me to learn. And when we do that, when we get that wiring switched in our brain, then challenges happen. I still have challenges. It's not like it doesn't
Oh,
happen. Sometimes it's
absolutely.
even more, right? Sometimes it's even more, because the more you master, it's like, okay, let's let this next level mastery. Okay. Oh my God, am I going to make it? Right. But
And that's what people think once they learn all of this and incorporate it into their life and become more enlightened, that, oh, life is just going to be easy. It's going to be full
no,
of love and
it
laughter
absolutely
and flow. And no, because now, like you say, you have greater challenges and you overcome larger obstacles, but you
yes.
do it with grace because you've learned.
Yes, and that's the flow. So it does
Mhm,
flow in the
mhm.
sense of the capacity to navigate
Yes.
improves, so that we can move like surfing, right? The Hawaiian proverb to surfing, right? Learning to surf the waves, learning to read the water, learning to be so in tune with the rhythms or the lattice field of life that we can influence it too through our state of being, so that we also get good ripples coming back, right? So it's very beautiful.
Yes. What you put out is what you get back.
Yeah,
100%. Mhm.
yeah. And
Yes.
I see Ron put up my flyer in the center here. So I just launched another little guidebook just 3 days ago. And
Wow.
this is what I was working on. I was at the head office of Dean Graciosi and Tony Robbins 2 weeks
Okay.
ago, and they're helping me
Mhm.
launch my courses, and they helped me launch
Oh,
this. And
congratulations, Luannah.
thank you. And this is a little guidebook for people to, have their soul nourished, have their mind inspired, how to come back into their body. It's called Your Soul Knows the Way. And it's about remembering essential truths that when you hear them, they just resonate. And so far, everybody who's written me after reading it, they said it's been so transformational for them. And it's for free. This is one of my free offerings so that anybody can have that. And especially, oh, thank you, Ron. And
And yeah,
especially,
Ron, yeah, sorry. Ron says that we will be adding it today to the RI Broadcasting store on the website. So any of our listeners, our viewers can access for free some of Luannah's wisdom. And we really appreciate that, Luannah. That is amazing. Thank you so
yeah,
much. And thank you, Ron, for adding it to the store.
yeah,
That's
thank
that's
you.
fantastic.
Especially with Christmas around the corner, right? This is a really hard
Yes.
time for a lot of people. And
Yes.
so when we've had sadness and loss and trauma, it's really essential to develop an inner capacity to hold true to the light within us, the goodness, and to stay connected to the goodness in the world.
Mhm.
Especially right now, there's so much going on, but it's also the contrast balancing itself out.
Yes,
Right?
it
So,
is. Mhm.
everything that's been buried is coming out, and that's a part of a cycle of life, right? The winter, we're in the winter right now as
Yeah.
well, where, it's there's a lot of trouble, there's a lot of challenges personally and globally, but
But
all of those are there for growth and awakening, right? But then
Exactly. The greater the challenge, the farther we go inward to find the solutions
exactly.
and what resonates and how we can move forward and create solutions and move forward in a peaceful and wonderful, more cohesive way to
Mhm.
unite. And I think this is going to unite us globally. It's going to get tough. It's going to get messy and it's going to get ugly as it currently is. However, I think overcoming that is going to be beautiful once things come together on a global scale. And it starts at home. I mean, it starts with each and every one of us in
Yeah.
our own homes, in our own beings and bodies, and embracing that with our families. Then it starts to expand. And once that expansion starts to really, it's already happening.
Yeah.
It is already happening, and it's rippling. The ripple effect the pebble has been dropped in the pond,
Yeah.
and the ripple effect is definitely starting. So
Yeah.
it looks dark, and there's darker days ahead, but we will persevere, and
And
the world will return to light again.
and understand,
Happiness, harmonious.
but
Hmm.
also understanding conflict is inevitable, war is
Yes.
inevitable. These things are
Hmm.
inevitable because it's contrast. So,
Yes.
it will always exist. It always has existed. But when we learn to use it to raise our consciousness, and when we can shift the ratio so it's 80% 20, right? So
Yes.
alignment
Yes.
unity, and the 20% is still there to act as a catalyst, because without the dark, we have nothing to choose from. There's no
Right.
there's no contrast, there's no choice. So
And we don't appreciate. If you don't have the bad times, you don't appreciate and honor the good times, because if you don't have the bad times, you don't know how good you have it when it's good.
as
So we
well.
need the contrast. It's
Yeah.
part of our growth.
Yeah. So understanding that, yeah, we're working towards raising and elevating the consciousness to a degree that that percentage of that dysfunction and distortion is no longer the ruling force, but
Right.
consciousness becomes the ruling force. But it will always exist because we need it to exist. It's a part, as long as we're human, it's going to exist. But then we find a way to navigate it and honor it too. Honor, what is the contrast? What is this
Mhm.
teaching me?
That's
What
beautiful.
is
Oh,
this
no,
bringing out of me? Like Wayne Dyer said, when you squeeze a lemon, you get lemon juice. So when we get squeezed by life, we
yeah.
see what's inside us.
Yeah. What do we get?
So
What are we producing when we get squeezed?
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that is beautiful and amazing. And where can people purchase your books? They can get your latest works for free on the Going On Daily website.
Yes.
Where can they purchase The Power and Possibility of Being You
On
and the
Amazon.
Soul Knows the Way guidebooks? Where can
On
they,
Am-
on Amazon?
and
Yep.
Amazon. Yep. And also the power, transforming power into pain into power and purpose. That's also on Amazon. And so is my Resilience, Grace, and the Art of Showing Up. That's also there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So would you recommend that people read your Resilience, Grace, and Art of Showing Up first and then move on to the others? Or does it
Whatever
matter
they
what?
gravitate towards, whatever they
Okay.
gravitate towards. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Follow your inner
Beautiful.
resonance. Yeah. Yeah.
That was amazing, Luannah. Thank you so much for sharing. And I know in the future you and I will do more segments on this.
Beautiful.
It's going to happen because you've got so much to share with the world, and so many wonderful things, so much wisdom that to help others. So I'm sure we will
I'm really
definitely go
touched.
down this road again.
Thank you. I'm really touched that you wanted to do this segment with me. And so thank you very much.
Oh,
I appreciate
but
that.
you're
Yeah.
brilliant. It's wonderful to showcase and highlight those who help others. I love it. So now, speaking of overcoming resistance and making our best life, our
Mhm.
next segment is the art of resilience.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought that would lead from this interview part, so I can go a little bit deeper into the foundation of what I help people to do. And it's really ultimately to build resilience. But I have a different take on resilience. So there's one element of resilience is the capacity to prepare for and adapt to stress and challenge. Right?
Right.
That's the more scientific definition of it, right? Perseverance, right?
Right.
Endurance, right? So that's what most people only see resilience as that. But what life has taught me is it's actually about the process of recreation and renovation. When you look at nature, when there's a forest fire, for example, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it there are natural disasters, but then there's new life and new growth that comes that gets activated, right? And so I'm trained in the heart math method, and that's a scientifically developed breathwork method. And they actually do groups in countries of war and catastrophe and disaster to help people to come back into their body. Because when we have a shock, like he was saying, earthquakes, right? We get dislodged, right? And we get totally activated in our limbic brain,
Yes.
right? And and when we're activated there, then our creative faculty is shut down, our
Mhm.
problem solving faculty is shut down. And that's when
Yeah.
we go into panic, and that's when we go into fear, and that's when we go into like a cycle and even psychosis sometimes with catastrophes, right? Or personal traumas and things like that. So resilience is not only getting through, it's also what do I create from what I went through.
Exactly. And being able to take that step back, and even in the most traumatic circumstances, to being able to take a breath,
Hmm.
take that step back,
Yeah.
and really look at not only how do I get through this,
Hmm.
but what am I learning? How am I growing?
Yes.
And how is this helping me in life?
Yeah.
Because it is difficult, so difficult. We
Oh
had
yeah.
a fam we had a
Yeah.
family member commit suicide last week, and
Oh,
it was
that's
difficult. It was
yes.
difficult, but you've gotta take a step back and feel all the feels, learn all the lessons, and see where's the growth in this. Where how did this person help us?
Yeah.
And I know that's a strange question. Most people are sitting there going, "What, are you kidding me?" No, but you're learning and growing, and that's part of resilience.
Mhm.
It's not, like you say, not just powering through, not just
You
perseverance,
stay
but
you stay
learning.
engaged with living, basically.
Yeah.
Resilience is about staying engaged with living and creating. Whereas when
Yes.
we have shock and trauma, it's easy to shut down. Like I've had
Yes.
lots of things happen. I haven't been in a natural disaster, but I've had disasters in my life and traumas in my life. I,
Hmm.
in my 20s, I had built a life for almost 4 years in Switzerland. And then I lost my life there in 24 hours because of a technicality I didn't know. And I had to leave the country. I had to leave everything behind in 24 hours. And I had no money because I
Wow.
just returned from Thailand. So I didn't even have
Oh
money.
my gosh.
I didn't even have money to leave the country. I was waiting for my work visa and I called them and I said, well, I'm waiting for my work visa. My employer needs me. I need to work. When's it coming? And they said, oh, why don't you come to our office? I'm like, okay. And they went and they snatched my passport out of my hand and they said, you have 24 hours to leave the country. According to this and this law, you're supposed to be waiting for the answer in another country. And since you've been here for 4 years, you should know that. And I went, would I have called you if I knew that?
Right.
So it was like one of those moments where I guess they wanted to get their
Terrifying.
something. I was trembling and shaking and I had nothing,
Yes.
you know.
100%.
They wanted me to pay a fine. I'm like, I don't even have money to leave the country, so you're gonna have to put me in jail. I said, because I can't do that. And he said, well, just leave in 24 hours. And then I went to a friend's place, and she had a metaphysical bookstore. She was my mentor in my early years, and so she and a friend helped pay my rent, so I wouldn't lose my belongings because otherwise it would all have gone into the trash. I didn't have 24
Hmm.
hours, right?
Yep.
They paid for a month for my rent. A woman who, when I left my narcissistic partner and I had no money, that happened before, right? Or another time she gave me money, right? To also have food, and she gave me food and
Hmm.
money to go. And so everybody pitched together to help me leave. And 24 hours later, I had to give up my card at the border. So just
Hmm.
imagine everything I had built up was just gone. And I was just in my 20s. You say, oh, well, you're just in your
Yeah.
20s, but still it's a foundation,
And
you know,
it's a traumatic event, a hugely traumatic event, because you
completely.
have no money, no place to go. You don't know what you're going to do, how you're going to support yourself.
Yes.
This was before the digital nomad era, so you're
Oh,
not,
yeah, completely. There's no internet or
yeah,
anything.
it's
And
not
then,
like, "Oh, I'm taking my laptop and away I go." That's not
yeah.
happening. Yeah.
And so then, I ended up in Germany and I was making jewelry at the time. So I started selling on the markets. And at that time I was learning with a Peruvian shaman. And he heard from a mutual friend who was also his student what happened. So he came and he got me and he brought me to Frankfurt, and he had some storage at a friend's place. And he said, here, he gave me this turquoise backpack full of jewelry from Peru, silver, crystals, masks,
Wow.
easily $10,000 worth. He said, here, you take it, you live off it what you can. When we meet again, you give me the rest of what's left over and a part of the profit. And I went, okay. So with my drum, a few clothes, a big bag of crystals, and then the backpack of jewelry, I went to Berlin and I started selling on the markets.
That is so
And
beautiful. Really, that is beautiful. You had so many supportive people
or
helping you.
exactly, that story's
Unreal.
in my book too, right? And so that's what I mean. Like there was heavy duty things that happened, but there was double, triple the grace that helped me get through. Right. And so that's how I started. And then, I ended up part owning a restaurant with a man, but he ended up being a narcissistic abuser, which I didn't know at the time. I was too naive. And I was
Mhm.
kind of stuck there for a few years until I started waking up and like, well, wait a minute, this isn't right. And then I started reclaiming my life and finally left him. Right. And so, yeah, so I've been through a lot of loss. I lost in my early childhood. My mom left when I was 7. My sister had a horseback riding accident. She was in the hospital for a very long time, and she came back. She was in a coma for almost 5 months. And
My goodness.
so there was a lot. So from my early childhood, and there's other family stuff that took place.
Mhm.
And so I know that inner terrain, right? There's a trauma saying, it says, whether it's a bunny rabbit or a tiger that chased you off the cliff, you fell off the cliff.
Exactly.
And some people can bounce back and some people land on shards, right?
Mhm.
So much
Well,
flow. I should write a book. Yeah, I did.
yeah, exactly.
So,
And but I think too, one of the points you just made earlier was that you had so much grace in your life. And when people experience trauma, very traumatic events where they're overwhelmed and they don't know how they're going to get through and they don't know what they're going to do to survive, they don't know how to even put the next foot in front of the other. It's having that grace to say, "Oh my gosh, this person is being so supportive and so wonderful right now," and focusing on the good things that you do have in your
and that's
life and the wonderful people who are
yeah.
helping you breathe and helping you take that next step and helping
Well,
you
that I'm still
achieve
alive.
that next goal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even that I'm still alive. Like I had a situation too where I was held hostage in my home when I was 25
Wow.
at knife point and abused. And I was very lucky to make it out. So I've been down some pretty dark places. But what was the constant was it's I always had a connection to nature. I always had a connection. There's more than just my experience. There's a deeper wisdom in life. And I would look to nature. Nature is always recreating, right? She doesn't just, okay, here's a new
Regrowth.
sprout. Okay, let's use this new environment to create something new. So for me, the arts were essential. I'm a self-taught flautist. I now have 2 sound healing albums on Spotify, which I never imagined, but I started playing the flute as my medicine to get to have a voice that could release what was in me that no words could touch and also receive what no words could reach me, but just through
Right.
the energy of connectedness. Writing, right? Now I've always been a writer. I've always journaled. Jewelry making. Recently I started painting.
Yeah.
So,
You're
there's
very creative on a number of levels. Like most people are creative in one area. They have one outlet that, expresses their creativity, but you have many different areas where you express your creativity and
but they
continue
were
to create.
yeah, but those were born out of my hard times.
Mhm.
And so that's the key, right? The arts, what are we creating? We need to stay alive. We need to be moving, and I've been in the depressive pit of despair many times in my life. So it's hard to get out. It's a tarry place. It's a comfortable place even, but
Exactly. And
it's
as
not.
Ron said, it's not about getting knocked down, it's about getting up and how
Yes,
you get up. Mhm.
yes. And understanding that, okay, I need to feel what I feel. It's not about not feeling, but I
Right.
need to be able to
No
feel
bypassing.
feel. I need to feel what I feel with awareness to navigate it so that it serves my life rather than
Yes.
destroys it. And
Yeah.
that's the mindset switch, right? It's not negating what happens. It's not, you know, bypassing what happened. I need to feel my sadness, but I need to create a safe space in myself so that I can. And that's where mindset mastery comes in,
Yes.
right?
And
If I
not only, like you say, it's also recognizing those who have given you the grace and helped you. And
oh
that
yeah,
is
for
that
sure.
that is the beginning of the creation of the safe space within yourself, is recognizing that and realizing that there are good people, there are wonderful people. I am not alone and I have help. And that is the beginning of
And
creating the safe space. And for a lot of people who haven't meditated, who haven't been down the spiritual path you've been down, but that's where they can. One thing that our viewers can, because we're running out of time here, so I'm not trying to cut you off. I
oh yeah,
apologize.
fine,
I
no, no,
could
fine.
I could talk with you about this for hours, clearly,
Mhm.
but if you could give our listeners, our viewers, our audience one piece of advice of how to create that safe space within them, how to
Mhm.
get back up when they're feeling at their lowest low,
Yeah,
what advice would you give them? How would you guide them?
to breathe, to breathe. Because when we're in that state, we hold our breath, we tighten, we clench. And what
Yes.
that does, it activates and reinforces our survival limbic brain. And when that
Yes.
happens, we release more cortisol, more adrenaline, which reinforces the feelings that we have. We have the biggest chemical plant in our body. So what a breath, when you do a single breath, even as you do just one breath is enough to create an interruption to slow the velocity of a trigger. And then you do another trigger, and another breath. And then the more you breathe, you come back into the present moment. Because when we are triggered, we are not in the present moment. We're either in the regret and the lament and the pain of the past, or the anxiety and fear of the future. So
Correct.
we got to realize, we just have to cultivate that awareness. Wait a minute, I'm in my limbic brain. I'm cortically impaired. I'm
Yes.
not seeing all there is to see in this moment. I'm seeing the narrowing of my fear and my anxiety. Breathe. Open that lens a little bit. And as I do that, my frontal cortex starts to come back online. And that's the section for higher reasoning, connecting the dots, problem solving, big picture thinking. So we need to do the opposite of what we feel we want to do. When we're in a limbic trigger, we just want to
Yeah.
shrink. We just want to
Restricting.
restrict.
Limbic is restricting,
Yeah. And this is
and this
expansion,
is
right?
expansion.
And so the breath, if in just this brief time, and I go into this I give my techniques actually in this free guidebook. I just give it all. It's
Oh
the
my gosh.
outline is there. Like this guide that's I'm giving for free is the quintessence of what I share and I teach.
Well, if any of
That
our listeners,
you have it.
viewers, or audience needed another reason to go on to going to Rhode Island Broadcasting and get this free resource from Luannah, that
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, when you're experiencing pain, trauma, and feeling like you can't take another step forward, you don't know how you're going to get through the day.
Yeah.
Now you can go on to Rhode Island Broadcasting, get this free resource, and
Yeah.
Luannah will help you. Luannah will help you get through that. That's
And just
amazing.
thank you. And just breathe and find a creative, expressive outlet. Something. Dancing, put on your favorite
Yeah,
song. Movement.
yeah,
I studied movement therapy for 11 years. That was also part of my healing.
that's
So
beautiful.
creativity, action, movement, breath. That would be my recipe,
And,
right?
and you could treat yourself to something sweet.
Oh yeah, yes, exactly.
Sometimes that helps.
Yeah,
Sometimes treating yourself to something sweet helps. And that takes us to our next segment. So my segment about candy today is weird candy because I like to keep it light. And so we're going to start off with there are some very strange candies out there, and you just wonder why, but people enjoy them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be out there, right? So in Japan, they have what's something really incredibly strange. It's called squid candy. And we're not talking about like the little trolls and the octopuses that are just shaped like it. This actually tastes like squid.
no way. Wow.
Yes, it's made from fish paste and it's tossed in artificial squid flavoring. Oh, I can't even imagine.
I just almost
Like,
took a smell of my tea there just at the end.
oh, I know when I was doing this list, I was like, oh, I can't even. But if anyone's watched Squid Games, this should have been a part of those. They should have had to eat the squid candy because that is absolutely
Wow.
awful. And it comes in a ton of different varieties because one flavor of squid isn't enough. You've got to have everything from sweet to spicy. Oh, yeah.
Wow. I guess for squid lovers, I guess that's the cat's pajamas for them, right? That's so yeah.
If there's a squid lover watching this show, please, please, at some point, contact us and let us know that you think this would be a good idea because I can't even imagine. I cannot imagine eating squid candy. Yeah, that would be horrible to me. Like I say, it should have been part of Squid Games because it would have been difficult to do.
Wow.
So now there's also Kit Kats got in the game because Kit Kat, many different flavors of Kit Kat, you can buy them everywhere. But they have a wasabi Kit Kat.
Wasabi Kit Kat.
Wasabi.
I could actually almost imagine that because you can put chili in chocolate. The spicy, I guess. Almost, but I don't know. The wasabi flavor. Yeah.
I love that you can envision that because I can't. I'm like, there is no way. And I love chocolate. I like chocolate too much.
Right.
But I cannot imagine why they would want to make a wasabi Kit Kat. But clearly, again,
Lovers.
successful. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes. And I mean,
Lovers.
they have key lime pie, they have mango, they have pumpkin pie, which to me, I'm not a fan of key lime pie, but I can totally understand that there'd be key lime pie lovers out there who would love to have a key lime pie Kit Kat. Totally down with that. Enjoy. That's great.
They have a
And,
key lime Kit Kat.
yeah, key lime pie. Mhm.
Key
I'm
lime.
not sure. I'm not
Wow.
sure in what area of the world that this is, but
Wow.
yeah, key lime pie apparently. And I
Okay.
get the pumpkin pie at Halloween. That's great. And I can see why people would want to have pumpkin pie, Kit Kat, and mango Kit Kat. I think I'd be down for that if I ever came across it. But wasabi, I'm sorry, it's not for me. But again,
Yep.
happy that there's a market for it. Now, the next weird candy is lollipops. There
Okay.
are so many weird flavors of lollipops out there.
Really?
It is mind-boggling.
Wow.
So, they have a tequila lollipop with the worm.
No
Yeah,
way.
oh yeah, I can be down with that. That I could actually it's a candy version of the alcoholic beverage with a
Okay.
worm inside.
With a worm inside even. Oh
Uh-huh.
my
Oh
goodness.
yeah. Yeah.
Has
But
that worm been doused in alcohol for a long time?
I don't think it's an alcoholic version. I think it's just a
Right.
candy version.
Right.
But they modeled that off of, and I mean, it's different when you've drank a bottle of tequila. You can swallow that worm. It's not a problem. But I don't know. So I'm not sure sober that anybody'd be up for it. But
Yeah.
it's better than the next option, which is cricket lollipops.
Oy.
They actually have a cricket inside them. It's a
Wow.
bug. It's a lollipop with an actual cricket. And they come in a variety of flavors. You can get them in blueberry, in grape, in strawberry, and orange, whatever floats your little cricket boat.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, yikes. It
Wow.
is just disgusting. Uh, well, and maybe there are people who like insects in their lollipops because they also have um, scorpion lollipops and let's see, what
Wow.
other lollipops did I like? There's a bunch of weird insects in lollipops.
Mhm.
Like I just can't even. And they
The
and again, they come in so many flavors.
the incredibleness of the human imagination and creativity. I mean, there's creativity in that, regardless, even when I don't like
Oh,
puns, but it's like that, like there's no end to the possibilities of our imagination. It's just phenomenal, actually. It's kind of cool.
Ron says it just proves people are idiots.
Also very
And
creative
as,
idiots, maybe. That's
as
pretty cool.
I agree with both your perspectives because there is creativity going into that.
Yeah,
And as P.T. Barnum said, there's a
imagination.
sucker born every moment. So
Yeah,
we're going to create this because somebody's going to eat it. There's
yeah,
going to be an idiot out there that eats it. And clearly there are.
that's incredible.
Isn't
Amazing,
it incredible? They
amazing.
also have Tabasco flavored lollipops.
Oh,
Yeah, Tabasco. Can you imagine? Like I can't even.
hey, Danny.
Hey, Danny, how are you? Congratulations on the Dodgers win. I don't want to talk too much about it because it made me cry, but it was a great series. Was anybody's series. It came right down to the wire, and that's the way you want it to be when it's on the world stage like that. So congratulations to LA, but Toronto, we're coming back next year, so get ready, buckle up.
Oh,
Okay, so back to our candy. So did you know that Pez, you know what a Pez
I love
dispenser, people
pets. Yeah,
eat
yeah, yeah,
Pez,
yeah.
they were actually designed as an alternative to smoking.
No way. Oh, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Like fidgeting, right? Opening the thing and eating. Oh, wow. I had
Well,
no
and
idea.
they were chlorophyll flavored because somehow chlorophyll helps people stop smoking is what's their thought pattern was when they initially
Oh,
invented them.
wow.
Mhm. And
Cool.
so then they started, once they became popular, they're like, well, okay, so this is going beyond stopping smoking. We need to start creating flavors and getting other people, more people
Mhm.
using these than just the people who want to stop smoking. So yeah, that
Wow.
is where Pez came from. It was really
Cool.
initiative to stop smoking, which takes us back to your original
For the
candies being
getting a
for
medicine.
medicinal. Mhm.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
I loved
yeah,
pets. That was one of my favorite candies growing up. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
people collect containers. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, for years I used to have friends that collected those pest containers. I was like,
Wow.
yeah. And okay, so we're gonna last but not least, we're gonna end with this one because this one is truly, truly weird. And it is, yeah, I can't wrap my mind around it. It's disgusting to me, but I don't know if you've ever heard of Bertie bots. Have you ever heard of Bertie Bertie
No,
bots?
no.
Okay, they're beans. So like jelly beans. They look like jelly beans. They're Bertie bots.
Okay.
And they come in flavors ranging from dirt to earwax.
Oh, I was just because the first thing when you said jelly beans, I thought of Harry Potter and the earwax jelly beans.
That's exactly that you
Exist.
intuitively, that's exactly what happened. So
Wow.
it is, they say they come in every gross, worst flavor imaginable. This includes flavors such as dirt, earwax, rotten egg,
Why
and
would you want
sausage.
to torture yourself? Candy should be enjoyable. That's so
And
great.
and it was they were inspired by the Harry Potter series.
Oh, wow.
They
Wow.
look just like jelly beans and they taste disgusting. Okay, can you imagine going into a candy store and going, "Oh, you know what? I think I want to eat a little earwax today." Oh, oh,
Cute.
oh,
It's
that
something I guess
is,
maybe people like them to do dares possibly too, right? Like making like little dare, I dare you to eat whatever,
and
right?
they'd be a joke too. Like if you're giving someone, a gift, like a gag gift,
Yeah.
oh, you throw in a few of those birdie beans and go, "Oh, right on. Here's an earwax, here's some dirt, here's some rotten egg, enjoy." And they would throw a jelly bean in their mouth and go, "Wait a minute, what is going on?" Oh, man, oh, man. So, yeah, that's pretty disgusting, but you
Yeah.
know what? There's obviously a market for it. There's sucker born every minute.
Yeah.
And getting back to suckers, I'd rather eat a worm tequila sucker than
Mhm.
eat the earwax
Oh,
gummies.
absolutely. Yeah. Totally. Totally.
If I had to
Uh,
choose, I'll take the bug. Ooh,
right.
never thought I'd say that. Okay, and that wraps up our show for today. Do you have any other insights? Where can they find you, Luannah?
Oh,
Where can they find you?
so they can find me on Facebook under Luannah Victoria and soulspectivesinstitute.com and also my retreat center serenitybythesea.com. I think all the closing credits have those there. And on YouTube I have some videos. I did a series recently called Master Your Triggers, Master Your Life. So, yeah.
And
So
where is that on YouTube? What can they find you under?
under
On
Luannah
YouTube?
Victoria Rana. Yeah. Luannah
Beautiful. Just right
Victoria.
under your name on YouTube. Please
Yeah.
look her up, people, and please, please go to our website, get her free resource that she's offering you because it will change your life. It really, truly will.
Really hoping it
So
reaches far and wide. So it's especially this time of year, it's really needed. And so I'm
it
hoping that it
certainly
will
is.
help people get through, yeah, and come back home to
Beautiful.
themselves and the power that we all do have. It just takes effort. We have to do the effort, right? And it's not easy. It's not, it's not a simple task, but it's a possible task. And it's like going to the gym, right? I can't just do one rep and think, okay, I'm going to have the muscles I want. I have to do rep,
Yeah,
rep, rep,
it's
right?
part
I
of
have to
growth.
repeat.
All part of growth.
So when
Mhm.
we repeat these inner strategies, these inner navigation tools, then eventually it becomes easier. It becomes the new default. But that period from starting to getting it to the default, it's challenging for sure. But it's
And
possible. And that's what's important. That's what's so important. It's possible. Not that
yes,
it's hard, but that it's possible, right? And when we,
if it wasn't hard, it wouldn't be part of growth because
yes,
challenges are what grow us.
absolutely.
Okay, well, and you can find me at YouTube at Holy Shift Balls and at Facebook at Holy Shift Balls. And we will be back. I'll be back on Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time to do the Holy Shift Balls podcast with my amazing co-host Bethany. And we have the Horse Whisperer on again this week. So
Oh,
this is our very first guest, and she's our first repeat guest. She wanted to come back because she wants to do some readings for people and help our viewers with any questions that they may have. So please join us for that, and please come with questions. So Danny, if you're still here, join us Thursday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, and bring some questions for Terry J. We thank you for being with us today. And tomorrow we have Becky and Kyle. So that's going to be an amazing show at
awesome.
10 a.m. Eastern, at 8 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Central.
And
So, yeah,
7
so
a.m. Pacific.
7 a.m. Pacific. That's
Right.
exactly right.
7 a.m. Pacific.
Got to run the gamut. So, yeah, have a wonderful day. And again, thanks for joining us. And we will see you soon. Bye
Okay,
bye.
y'all. Thanks.